What's up? It's Big Mama Bitch, and I'm back with another video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. Welcome back to my channel. I know y'all like, girl, you just left. I did just leave, but I'm back. And because the subjects are so different, I just want to talk about. I just want to talk about this separate. So I did watch the Candice Owens interview on the Breakfast Club. I made a video in the past about Candice Owens. Uh, I like her. I actually really like her. I like her because she's opinionated. She stands strong in what she believes. She often, more likely than not, has facts to back up the reason why she believes what she believes. And I don't know. I like her. My first time seeing her, there was a sit down between it was her, Killer Mike, Ti. Oh goodness, I can't think of who the other guy was. I'm not sure. I'm drawing a blank, but it was, I believe, four people. She was the only female, and I liked how she held her own in that room with those men while they were discussing topics about black people. And this was at the time where I thought black people were moving in a real good direction, and at some point, everything became like was at a standstill, and it seems like we've been standing still for a long time. It's only my hope that the black leaders, because when I speak of black leaders, I'm talking about people who get out in front of masses of people and speak on behalf of black people. Okay. Now, do we necessarily agree with everything that the black leaders say? Maybe not. Do we? But we'll still listen to what they have to say because we know that it's not with the intent to go against or to harm black people. And part of me so desperately wants Candice to be a black leader for us. Her viewpoints are very good. She has very strong and solid viewpoints. Um, but sometimes she does get over the top, like when she pokes fun and talks bad about Lizzo and calling her fat and stuff. Like, I think that's unnecessary when she's so hell bent on hating the LBGT community. I feel like that is so, it's like you can get your point across without having to put other people down, kind of thing. Okay. She went on the Breakfast Club. Of course, they brought up a whole bunch of stuff, but I want to talk about, because I brought up the sit down that she had with Ti and Killer Mike and everybody, and she specifically pointed out her disdain for Ti. She said she don't like Ti. She said before they had that sit down, her and Ti were on the phone. They were sharing viewpoints. She said the viewpoints that they shared were very different from the viewpoints he got up on that TV and said to the rest of the world. Where he was coming from a very democratic standpoint, Candice Owens, we know she was going to vote for Trump. She comes more from that standpoint. And Ti got up on the TV screen and he pretty much was shooting down everything that she was saying. I want to first start by saying she, even in that interview, she sounded way more intelligent than Ti. Not interview, but sit down. She sounded way more intelligent than Ti, even with him using all those big old words. She still sounded like she knew more than him. Um, but she said that a couple times on the Breakfast Club. Like, I don't like Ti. I don't like. I want to know. And she brought up the whole Diddy thing. She like, I want to know what made him change his viewpoints. Like, in a matter of days. Like, we just had talks and everything was fine. And you told me how you feel, and we felt very similar. We were very similar in our stance. And then you get in front of the camera and then you have a problem. This is why y'all can't trust these celebrities, okay? You can't trust what they say. They are puppets. They are put into place to mislead, to misguide you, okay? Very few of them have freedom. And that's why I don't listen to nothing that they have to say. I believe her. I believe her. I believe T.I. know that the Democratic Party is full of shit. I believe that he knows um, everything. I believe he knows what will be of benefit to Black people. And I believe that he knows the type of behaviors that will harm Black people. He knows this stuff. Anybody with a brain knows this stuff. Anybody with a brain can see how the music affects us. They can see how the LBGTQ is affecting us as a Black society, not because they exist, but just for the simple fact that it's being put in the faces of children at such a young age. You have men who are supposed to be heterosexual men walking around in dresses. How confusing is that? Okay, so what else about the Black homes and the Black families and how they were tore apart? And but I want to get to a point where we don't so much focus on the past and the welfare system and how it came in and destroyed the Black community. I want us to focus on ways to keep it together now, because everybody's not on welfare now. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of people who just having kids because they would rather have a kid than to have a husband. I don't know. It's a lot of broken homes being made, and we can no longer blame it on the welfare system. I do know that people are. Let me tell you, when it's certain people that I expect more from. When Keke Palmer had her baby out of wedlock, I was disappointed. As beautiful as that baby is, I just wanted more for her. When Hallie when Hallie had her baby out of wedlock, I didn't like that. I didn't like that because it's ghetto. And as somebody who has had a baby out of wedlock, I could say that it's ghetto. It's a setup to have the child be with this parent or that parent. It's no effort going into the parents staying together and being together, raising the child together. I would have much preferred them be married before they had their children. I would I would prefer that. I don't know why. And for me, I don't know DDG and Hallie's relationship, but I know he seems supportive. Every time I see them, she's smiling, he's smiling. I thought he was a gangster rapper. He don't when he around her, he don't look gangster at all. He don't look gangster at all. He seemed like he be in his element, in a place of like just peace and contentment. And that's ultimately what you would like in a partner. It just saddens me how long it takes Black men to get on their knees and ask the woman that they've been with forever to marry them. It's just such a waste of time. That's what creates the broken homes. The fact that these guys are sitting out here sleeping with everybody and their mama, making babies here, there, all over, everywhere, and they chose their baby mama to be their wife. Hasn't chosen no place to station and be there so that the woman can be their wife. The Black men aren't proposing at the same rate as other nationalities. That's why the marriage rate is so low. They're having as many kids as them, if not more. They're just not proposing at the same rate. A lot of women will figure it out if it was something worth staying for. A lot of women will figure it out if it was something worth staying for. But some women have got to the point where it's like, why would I stay until death do us part when you don't even want to sign the contract to make that make sense for me? So I don't know. But I feel like marriage is for sure like some sort of a business contract. It's a contract. It's a business contract only because it will be naive to walk into a marriage and not go over business things like money and debt and income and things of that nature. So I don't know. I feel like that is what holds the Black community back, and also that we lack Black leaders. We like black leaders. I was talking to my homeboy the other day, and we were talking about Dr. Umar Johnson. For me, when he first hit the scene, I was listening to like all his podcasts. I was very in tune to what he was saying. He came on the Breakfast Club, and that was cool. Like, I was like, okay, I'm really into trying to, I really want to, hear what he got going on. His plight on black people. He's very into, very stern on black men should marry black women and black families. And that how the educational system doesn't look out for black children. Now, I believe this only because what I was learning in my inner city public school was not the same thing that my boyfriend at the time was learning in his suburban school. We were learning two different things. We didn't even have a swim class in my high school. We didn't even have a swim pool in my high school. We weren't learning about economics and things of that nature. We didn't even have the same courses. Like, we had basic courses in public school. So I don't know. But I was very interested in what he had to say. He sounded like he was coming with a lot of history, a lot of facts, a lot of self-awareness, and it was um it was intriguing. He had came up with a whole plan about building a school. And I was telling my homeboy the other day, I said, do you know how powerful that would have been? Do you know how powerful that would have been if he would have built that school? That in itself would have made him a black leader. Off top, maybe the black leader of our time. And he says, well, you don't think that it would have did that because that one school would have made so much noise, it would have radiated. It's not that. It's that this is what you presented to the people that you was gonna do. It's hard to get black people to trust. It's hard to get black people to trust. And um don't nobody lose trust from black people quicker than black people. Black people lose trust in black people quicker than they'll lose trust in the Chinese, quicker than they'll lose trust in the white people, quicker. I don't know if it's because we grew around each other, so we know our habits and we've seen certain behaviors before. So when stuff looks familiar, like it's moving in that direction, we just get away. I just know it's very easy for a black person to lose trust from another black person. I say that because you had everybody hype about this school. People were sending Dr. Umar money, PayPal's, Cash Apps, whatever, to go towards him building this school of Marcus Garvey. Now, while the school would have had such a small population, that would have put so much weight on what he was saying. That would have put so much weight and power and emphasis on everything that he said. He wasn't going to be no teacher. So he still was going to be out reaching, each one teach one to his people in the black community, adults being adults or, teenagers or parents or however that goes. He was still going to do that. But the fact that you set out to do this for the betterment of the people and you actually did that, that would put so much power on him. That would have sent him straight to the moon. I believe that because I know as a people, look at how all the people followed like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and the Black Panther Party, or even Marcus Garvey, since that's his favorite. Like, people like niggas, if you talk about you got a pathway to freedom, it has to be a plan. Outside of the plan, it's all talk. That's all it is. None of the black leaders, to me, I would say black leaders, because these are the people that I feel like have our best interests at heart when they talk. I love hearing Killer Mike talk. I like to hear Dr. Umar talk. I like to hear Candice Owens talk. I like to hear Amanda Seals talk. I would actually like to hear Amanda Seals talk to Candice Owens. I'm very interested to hear how that conversation goes because Amanda Seals is hell bent on the Democratic Party is the party for the people. And Candace Owens is hell bent on she's in support of Donald Trump because he's not a politician and he's not taking money from these lobbyists and all these big pharma companies to push agenda. And that's also what I like about him. When you find out that once you find out all these candidates, these presidential candidates are getting sponsored from um, this industry or that industry or the other industry, these candidates get sponsors. Once these people give you money, you owe them favors. So before you even hold up your word to the people, you have to hold up your word to these other industries. She said something very powerful, I think, today, because that's why I like Donald Trump and why people don't like him because they say he's racist. I don't feel like I feel like he's honest. And let me tell you something. I never heard him say F black people or black people words or nothing. And when I heard her say it started because he says, look, y'all schools are bad. This is happening in y'all community. Y'all have high crime rates and this, that, very statistically speaking. So he was really speaking facts. But for whatever reason, it offended the people. But by the time it hit the media and it fell on everybody else's ears, it was, he hates black people. He said, y'all ain't nothing. Y'all broke and y'all schools is bad. And I wouldn't want my kids around y'all kids. It turned it into a whole bunch of things that he didn't say. So my thing as far as Donald Trump is concerned is, and Joe Biden, I don't like sneaky stuff. Like, I could respect somebody who don't like me and could tell me to their face they don't like me. I could respect some. I don't like somebody who's to my face acting like they like me, but behind closed doors they really don't like me. I don't like that. I feel like I feel the same way Candice Owens feels. She feels like Joe Biden is too old to be our president, and I feel like he's too old to be our president too. I feel like he's entirely too old to be our president. I feel like he does have early onset dementia. I've heard him speak in press conferences and he trips up on a lot. I trip up. I got a fat tongue, so sometimes my words get messed up. But to go all the way off the deep end and be talking about something that makes no sense, forgetting important facts, important names that you, as the president of the United States, since you're the leader of the free world, you should know these things. I don't think he is competent enough at this stage of development to be the president of the United States. Like, I don't even know if he will even make it a full term. I don't even know if he would make it a full term, but we'll see what happens. I don't think it's wise I don't feel like it's wise for black people to be married to the Democratic Party. She said the reason that he caught her eyes because he said, hey, y'all been committed to the Democratic Party for 200 years and they've done nothing yet. They've done nothing for you. Just try something different. And I can agree with that. Now, she says we were living better under Trump. Some people want to blame it on COVID, this, that, and the third. What I will say is it was a lot of PPP money being sent out. They were sending out stimulus checks, this, that, and other. But I also know that before the pandemic hit, because we got to keep in mind that the pandemic didn't hit until his last term. His last year, the last year of his term. Everybody was working. People who had never had jobs before were working jobs. Okay? People who had never had jobs before were working jobs. So we can't just say, oh, people were getting money because of, because of the pandemic. I think it was the drop in the gas prices when he came on board. I believe that it was the fact that everybody was working, like everything was hiring, it was jobs everywhere. I feel like that had a lot to do with it. Um, the economy overall during his presidential term seemed like it was doing better before COVID. And then during COVID, the economy got better, but we lost a lot of lives. The situation, I don't know if he handled it the best, but at the same time, I somewhat feel like it was like some type of hoax or some type of trick or like some type of something, because the way, but then I also can't say that because like people were literally dying. Like people I know literally died and lost their lives. But it's just like I just don't know. I just don't know. I because I don't trust big industries. I don't trust the pharmaceutical industry at all. I don't trust it at all. But it's not the only industry I don't trust. I don't trust the music industry. I don't trust a lot of the film industry, like nothing media, entertainment, anything. I don't trust it at all. I don't trust it at all. And I am the kind of person, I don't watch a lot of TV. I can do a good documentary or like biopic. Um, I like stuff like a First 48 or crazy stuff like that. But I'm not big. But I do have my shows. Like I watch Sisters, or I watch. I was into Snowfall and stuff like that. But I don't sit in. But it's so hard for me to get committed to a TV show because they have that long break in between seasons. By then, I'd have found me something else better to do. But I am very cautious about the things that I allow into my airways, be it music or TV or just anything, because these people have lies. They send off different ways to trigger you to behave differently. Now, I can't tell people who to vote for. All I can ever tell you is to vote in your best interest. And the best thing you could do, the people have to read. My son will be able to vote for the first time. He asked me who to vote for. I can't tell you, baby. You're going to have to read. Read and look up what benefits what's in the best interest of you. You'll be going to school. You'll need to know who's going to make that best for you to do. If anybody's going to get rid of student loan debt, let's go ahead and do that, because Biden said he was going to do that his whole term. It ain't got done yet. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Candice Owens also got up there and she was talking about how they were going to build a wall. Donald Trump was going to build the wall to keep all the immigrants out, because then it'll make Black Americans, it'll push us even down further on the totem pole. Like it'll get more votes from these outside people who will probably vote based off of what they think is right, or be it whoever's giving them this free money, the Democratic Party. And then now it's a whole another influx of a missed opportunity for Black people. I don't know. I don't know what drives I don't know what drives this celebrities to act like they don't know that the Democratic Party like somewhat keeps us poor. I don't know what makes them endorse the Democratic Party so hard. Like with Barack Obama, I do remember before he was president, I seen a clip and he was with P. Diddy, who was probably Puff Daddy at the time. And Puff Daddy said he's going to be the next president. And then in like 3 years, he was running for president. And then he actually won. So it makes you wonder. Because all these things If you ask me, everything is intertwined. Everything is intertwined. All these people get together for a Sunday dinner and talk about how they can fuck up regular people's lives. Like, I believe this. I believe they have parties and meetings on how they can make it harder for regular people. I believe that. So, because nothing else makes sense. And she says she's just curious on the agenda, as am I. Also, what I would think would be I think it would be nice if Candice Owens and Dr. Umar sit down. Now, Dr. Umar gonna say something to Candice about her marrying her white husband. Candice said something to me that made sense. And it had me sitting back thinking about all the married couples I know. And I said that makes sense. She said you marry people based on your IQ level. At the time, it's nobody that she feel like she could have married that she would have been able to talk to about the things that she talks to, and she does her husband. She says she feels like she married the perfect partner, and that's how you should feel. That is exactly how you should feel when you get married, as if you've married your perfect partner. So if she says that to Dr. Umar, hopefully he'll better understand it, but he probably still won't. And at this time, it's too late because they have children. They have children, and you really can't tell people who to love. That's just another thing that separates us. The only thing you could ask Candice Owens, if the fight go down, is your husband gonna be over there with the white people or the black people? That's all. Is he asked out his whole family black? Because them kids, well, considering he the dad, they probably is white. But I don't know. I ain't never seen her babies. I don't know. But I feel like that would be a good sit down because I actually feel like they have similar views. I actually feel like they have similar views. Now, I'm sitting here still trying to figure out. I still vote, although I feel like our vote doesn't always count. I still vote just in case it do. Like, it might not count, but just in case it do, let me just go and put my bid in. So I do vote for that reason. But half of the time, I really be feeling like they just put whoever up in these offices. They put whoever in office that they feel like it. That's what I feel oftentimes. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. We'll see how it turns out. But it was a good interview. And it made me, I like her. We have a weird relationship, Candice and myself. She don't know me, but sometimes she really be pissing me off. And it really make it hard for me to trust her word because she's married to a white man. I don't know why. Maybe it's I done listened to too much Dr. Umar, but it really makes me like distrusting of her because I'd be like, well, when you are on your free time, who do you spend more time with? Do you spend more time with your black family or do you spend more time with his white family? All right, stuff like that. I just want to know an inside thing. Like, is you trying to be down with gang or is gang trying to come on this side to be down with you? I just be wanting to know. Like, mixed couples make me weary only because they parents and they aunties and they grandparents. Even if the guy is cool, it's just like, is the whole family cool though? That's why. I just can't. I couldn't do it myself personally, but I never tell somebody, oh, don't you love that white man? Hell, if that white man love you, girl, do your thing. I ain't got nothing to say. When she said that made sense. She talks about how her brain, and as a woman, you can run into those people sometimes who don't challenge you. Y'all don't talk about the same things. Y'all don't have the same interests, so y'all really don't have much in common. Outside of y'all may have good sex. And who the fuck want to just spend the rest of their life without somebody to talk to or pick their brain or come up with creative ideas and just be humping all day? Because eventually them things gonna work and it stop working and then what? Eventually they gonna stop working and then what? Y'all ain't even gonna have nothing to talk about. So I don't know. I think it was a nice interview. I liked it. They asked her about Fannie Willis. She continued on to say that she feels like Fannie Willis is ghetto. She said she was entertained. I was entertained during the whole sit down too, when Fannie Willis, they were doing a whole court thing for Trump because they said Trump had stolen votes. I was watching it, and it was entertaining, but to call her ghetto, I just don't like that. You can't call that lady that because you got a white husband. It make me feel like you be sitting down with your husband. Like, look at this ghetto trash, and that's what I don't like. Like, if I sit down with my black man and I say, "You see these ghetto motherfuckers over here," it hits different than you sitting with your white husband saying, "Look at these ghetto motherfuckers." You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't. That's what I need her to understand. That's what, like, she says a lot about black issues, and you say that you talk to your husband, but so when you be talking to him, do he be talking back? And then if so, what he be saying? When you be saying what you be saying, what he be saying? Do he be like, yeah, those fucking ghetto ass niggas? Like, what be going on over there? I'm curious. I just want to know. I think her and Dr. Umar will have an interesting conversation, actually. I think they both can enlighten each other on different things. I think they both are well educated. I think it will be a good conversation. Hell, I think it'll be good for the culture. They said on the Shade Room, would you sit down? They had so many views because I sure sit down. I sure sit down and listen to that. Because Dr. Umar, sometimes when he talks and he's sitting talking to people, he try to talk over people. And Candice ain't gonna go for that. And I like her because she cannot go for it and still stay in character and still be a lady. Yeah, she'll get her point across and still be a lady for sure. So I mean, I want to see. I want to see if they'll get back together. Maybe they'll try to do something amazing to push the culture in a positive direction and stuff. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping because we need it. And I really believe, like, I just know if he had built that school, because it's been years, in a few more years, it's gonna be a whole decade. We've been waiting on him to finish building this school. Now the pandemic they hit and some more shit, so maybe that's what put a hold on it. I don't know, but I know it would have been powerful for him. It would have been powerful for him and possibly for black people. It would have put he says the right things, but would have put emphasis on what he had to say. And it also would have been I feel like it would have been a situation where you had put your money to where your mouth was that one time, and then niggas saw you do that. So next time it comes time to put money up for a good purpose, you won't have to do it all by yourself the next time. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like rich niggas who give a fuck about niggas would have been like, had your back. It would have been some powerful shit. I wish that would have happened for you. But that's all I wanted to say about Candice Owens. I think it was a nice interview. I encourage y'all to check it out. If y'all don't like her, I can understand why you don't. She does say stuff, but then sometimes it's like, are you saying that just for like clickbait? You just want people to come check you out, so you say the most outlandish shit. I don't know. I don't know, but I hate when she talk about Lizzo. Lizzo is a big girl. We look at her and we see girl, but she's still talented. She was playing the fuck out of that flute, and she had her little span when she was making good music. Did I hate how Lizzo dressed? Yes. I hated that she ain't want to cover her ass up. But I'm not about to be like, I don't know, because I did used to be like, Lizzo, your fat ass needs to. I don't know, but I don't. Candice, it's the white husband. That's why you can't do what I do. You can't do what I do. You can't do what I do because you laying next to that pink meat. That's what it is. It changes everything you have to say for me. And that's bad. It could be. I don't know. But it changes a lot of the stuff you got to say for me. But that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to talk about that interview. I encourage y'all to go check it out. It was nice. This is election year. I'll be talking about politics a lot more on this channel during election year, only because I pay a lot of attention to politics around this time. So we'll be back to talk about it and see how it goes. Last time I checked, Trump had won a couple more states, so it's interesting to see how the whole thing is going and how it's gonna go. I'll keep y'all posted. Bye.